Hey guys, Frank Cava, experiencedinvestor.com here, and we are going to continue the dialogue about banks. So last time we talked about kind of who to target, how to get past the gatekeeper, how to start the dialogue for your fix and flip properties, okay? Now, this is a public service announcement, but it's not me preaching, but the fix and flips or the wholesale deals in my life pay for my overhead, and they pay for, to keep the lights on essentially, and pay for projects like this. The rentals are kind of like a long-term hold game, okay? And it's kind of a hedge against inflation, and it's a long-term retirement account. I talked to a friend of mine the other day who is an executive with a big company, and he has a bunch of stock options, and they vest in like 5 years. I don't own stock options. I work for myself, but I own a bunch of rentals. And like over time, they can go up, the rents go up, and I pay down the debt. And what happens is I have a nice little pile when I retire, hopefully, right? So if you're looking to do something similar, the private guys will help get you started, but the bankers are where you want to go. So I'm relatively small. I mean, compared to you, if you only know a deal or two, I might seem really big, but compared to people I know who have 500 or 600 rentals, I'm pretty darn small. So let me tell you how I've navigated these waters and then how you can do something similar. Last time we talked about the guidance line. I also have a secondary line with my banks. And what that bank line does is I take it from the guidance line, I do some work on it, and I can quickly refi it or refinance it into a different line. And what it does is it takes all the rentals and puts them in. Now, if you've owned your own home, you know that there's an amortization schedule, and you also know you're locked in to a certain period, right? Like you might get an ARM, which stands for adjustable rate mortgage, or you may have a 30-year fixed or a 15-year fixed type of an instrument or a loan. On commercial paper or commercial loans, called commercial paper, it's a little bit different. What happens there is they will usually give you an amortization timetable that's smaller than 30 years, 15, 20, or 25, okay? Then they're going to have resets. So unlike a regular loan where it's set for 30 years, commercial loans are a little bit more risky for the bank. You don't live there. You're not, having Christmas or holidays or grandma coming over. And they know the nature of it is that it's probably secondary to you on the payment side, right? Like if life events happen, you're going to pay your primary residence first before you pay off a rental. So they hedge and they make the terms a little bit better in their favor. So let's talk specifics. They will give you an AM period or an amortization period. I'm going to call it 25 years, which is pretty conservative sometimes, and a lot of times it's around 20, but it's going to depend on the type of house you buy. So 25-year AM. Then it's going to have a set period and a reset period. Most of them are a 25-year AM with a 5-year fixed period. So what this means in English is you buy a house, it's worth 100 grand. You have a loan on it for 100 grand, it's worth 150, right? It's going to amortize over 25 years, not 30 like with normal loans. So it's going to cost you a little more per month on that interest rate than a house would or a residence. And then what's going to end up happening is if, let's say you own it for 5 years. If you own it for 5 years, you're going to pay down some principal. And you'll see over 5 years that principal will actually come down a lot faster than with your house. That extra 5 years really, it speeds it up. But at the end of 5 years, the bank is either going to ask you to pay for the house yourself or they're going to refinance it. As long as the house has performed and you've shown good performance over time, they're going to allow you to re-up that loan. So what we're going to talk about next time is how to kind of continue from pool one into the future. We'll be back real soon. We'll talk more about these loans. See you soon.